Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Text to a Video. We're going to talk about this guy that I've wanted since, I probably got into guns because I knew what it was, how it worked, how simple it is. Unfortunately, back then, I was younger and didn't make the money I did today, so it wasn't an option. Fast forward to today, now that I do make more money, it wasn't high on my must-have list. Call it bucket list, top 10 things, whatever. So I've spent money on other stuff. But finally got this guy because multiple reasons. This is built by MKE in Turkey. If you've already done your research, you already know these things. I'm sorry if I'm wasting your time if you want to see the other details, but it's made by MKE in Turkey. Zenith used to import these. Now it's Century. Century sucks ass for building stuff, but for importing stuff, they don't do too bad sometimes. Like Wasser 10. Wasser 10 used to be the redheaded stepchild of the AK community. Now they're touted as the bare minimum. Me, I would never buy one unless it was a smoking deal on something like that because I know the history of them. I know they're not the best QC with how Century does when they open up the mag well and whatnot. I'd rather have a PSA GF5 over it because it's going to have a better barrel. Stateside shit, PSA AKs are really good. Are they the best of the best? No, but anybody says they're trash, they're just a fucking idiot because they've done wonders. They have a ton of options now. And you'll see one here and there that'll get a bad issue and everybody thinks that's all of them. That's bullshit. Same thing with this. I haven't seen any of the HK guys be snobs yet with these too bad. Some people do not want to call it the MP5 clone. This is built off MP5 tooling from Germany. All right, so everything interchanges. This is made for an MP5. Look, it fits. I need to know your difference. The K model is the short guy, the little cute one. Put a little vertical foregrip here when you SBR it. That one, the K model, things are a little different, so you have to pay attention to what you order things for. This, only issues I've heard of so far, I did my research before I jumped into it, is the extractor, right? The extractor and spring on these, some people have had some issues with feeding. I haven't fired mine yet, but guess what? I knew going into it, I can buy another one of these springs and like an extractor for 55 bucks. I'm good. So I already ordered that. It's here. I'm going to test fire this as is, see how it runs. Bring the parts with me. I have to swap them out. I will. No big deal. So don't be scared of that. I haven't heard any horror stories, nothing. Like I said, I did my research. They've been out through Zenith for a while. They've been imported by Century for coming up on a year now. I'm just not seeing problems out of these except for the extractor issue. So if you can sleep well knowing that you're going to spend $1,300, $1,400 on one of these fucking things, like that's good. Like that is excellent money, bang for the buck. I'm scared to death they're going to go back up. I did get the deal. Mine was like $1,260 shipped or some shit. $1,230. Like that's a smoking ass deal. And it did come with this guy here, I was cool with this, at least for now. These were out of stock. Thankfully, Facebook, someone messaged me, was like, hey bro, I got one of them bitches, you want it? I was like, yeah. So the Zuckerberg couldn't do his job to stop freedom from raining. So now I have this, it's 3 positions, unless you want to call collapse the position that it's for. But for your one-handed shooting, if you got long arms like me, I'm a big ass dude, you see how far that comes down on me. For your one-handed shooting with a brace, or if you got little short arms, or maybe call it normal people, you can go here, and if you're a dwarf or want to let your child shoot one-handed, right there, so you got options. Plus, I think it looks cooler. I enjoy it not collapsing to the side. They do integrate this machine with bulges that you can see here and here that will actually hold a rail on there if you buy that from them. So I think it's like 55 bucks through Atlantic. It might be cheaper elsewhere, I don't know. Right now, you're looking about 13 and a half-ish for one of these with that brace. They have a ton of options, K options they have. I think some come with magazines and with the rail and a dot. So your price, the cheapest I could figure it was down to 1,200-ish up to, like 18. Maybe it goes higher, but that's going to be like with a red dot, with this, with that, and all that other stuff. So you get to make your options. These come with on-off, no pew. Does have a dot that it can't go to. Understand things are blocked inside of here, so this could be a post sample. If you're a SOT, you could do that. Otherwise, this is windowed instead of having a crown like the original. I do like this. I'm going to leave this alone. I don't have a problem with it, so I'm going to keep that guy. And I was on the fence about getting the rail because I'm like, does an MP5 need a dot or any type of aperture? I'm like, it's really hard to get away from what this is historically. I like it, so I'm gonna leave it alone for now. I can change my mind later. Otherwise, I did find out after buying this, don't know how that happened, that they make a binary trigger for it. So now I need that. Unfortunately, the $700 that cost, I'm fixing to go spend that today on a new little scooter bike for my kids. So have to wait. It's not gonna be high on the priority list. I do want one, but I'm building my truck and a couple of my cars where it's eating a lot of money. So for those of you that want a deal, this is still gonna be a damn good deal for $1,300 to $1,400, whatever it is after tax and everything. Jump on there and get it while the getting's good. The Just As Good crowd. Seen that? Guys, like, it's just as good. I mean, close. I want to call it like 90, 95% close to being just as good. The extractor and spring, you get that, 55 bucks. If you have an issue, or be like me, get one proactive, because it's cool to have spare parts laying around if that's the thing that wears out on these, right? So otherwise, I don't have anything I can complain about this. The original handguard would be cool or something like that, but this feels good. It's not sharp. If you got soft hand like a woman, you don't have to worry about that. It's not overly abrasive. I can't find anything that I really want to have an issue with. You do have this right here is going to be a problem for a lot of y'all. This mag release button here, unfortunately, even with it in there, I can hit it, but I promise if you've met anybody with hands bigger than mine, maybe one, maybe two people, I've just gotten massive freaking mitts. So the rest of you, I've seen guys that here, they literally have to roll forward and use their middle finger to hit this. That's fine, because ambi-wise, you have a paddle that works on both sides. So don't sweat that. That is excellent. Otherwise, the lower, everything here all swaps out with HK shift. So you're good there. Man, this one came with the tri-leg adapter. It does have the 1/2" by 28 threads on here as well. So if you can put a different type of muzzle device or suppressor, or if you want your 3-leg, rock and lock and go. Man, it's such a basic gun. It's been reviewed plenty of times. I just figured I'd throw some more information out there, especially since that deal's running right now. Jump out there and get one. The K model is probably a little bit cheaper too, if I remember right, by I remember it was like 40 to 80 bucks cheaper on some instances. There's less gun there technically, even though it might be the more desirable model. I don't know. I just know these deals are too good to pass on. Get it while the getting's good. I can't wait to go shoot this thing. I need to go shoot the Jackal. I need to shoot this. I need to go test some stuff. I need to review my ARV. I've been very busy with a lot of stuff, and just remember the mags, they're around 50 bucks each. So yeah, they're not super friendly on price as far as, we're used to Glock mags. You can get a good Glock mag for 15, 20 bucks, right? 50 bucks each. They do tend to, say I use that locks in open. This has 30 rounds in it. So lock that guy down. Now, see, it's not quite snapping in. Little bump of the bottom of the mag and she's good to go. So not hard to do. If you leave 31 in here, that bitch ain't seating if that bolt's home, right? So gotta remember that. Otherwise, it doesn't take a ton. I'm not intentionally putting a lot of ass on that to get that in there with the bolt closed. It is easier with the bolt open, by all means, just like any platform. But yeah, there she is. I did make a joke in my Palmetto State Armory users group and said this was the new PSA MP5 clone. And if you read far enough, I admitted I was a sorry liar. That got some reactions. It was great. I do apologize for that. I am an asshole, and I own that shit. So yeah, get out there and get you one if you can afford it. I'm scared these are going to go back up and people will be like, oh man, 1,300 bucks, 1,400 bucks, whatever. Next thing you know, boom, 1,700, 1,800, or they go up to 2,000. I don't know. All I know is right now, these are a smoking freaking deal. Go out there and get you one if you can, if you're okay with dealing with the extra 50-ish bucks for an extractor and a spring. It might just need the spring. I got one of each. Do your research to verify everything I've said if you're interested, man. These are a cool ass gun. There's just nothing not to like about it at all. I mean, it's old school shit from the 60s that was ahead of its time. The delayed roller blowback, it works super well with suppressors. Do make sure, I do want to throw a note in here, if you made it this far into the video because I talk too much. 115 grain traditional plinker ammo, 124 or heavier. You will probably get failures. Supposed to be about a 500 round break-in on these from what I hear. I will run some 120. I have a lot of 124. I probably will do some subs that I'm going to build too, because I mean, I've got this thing here. I make my own ammo whenever I want to do some special custom shit. So you can go out and buy your 147s. If you want to run suppressed, that's the way to go. Subsonic, you know the law. If you're a suppressor guy, I'm not going to waste my breath on that. You know how that operates. So yeah, go out and get you one, guys. Like, if you've hesitated and thought about it, I hope I gave you the nitty gritty and didn't waste 10 minutes of your fucking time. So, all right, we'll see y'all next time.